we have been seeing verse 1 of Ulladu Narpadu by Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi. We have started with that verse, first verse. That is in Ulladu Narpadu. Ulladu Narpadu, the meaning of it is verses 40. The reality, the truth, which is in verses 40. That is the actual meaning. The emphasis is given here about the reality. In Sanskrit they say Sat. Sat means isness, suchness, the very existence. The moment we utter a word existence, we tend to think that which has come into manifestation, that which has appearance, that which has forms and names. We don't take into consideration even the space. The space is also a manifested form. Everything is coming out of that one Sat, one power. That is what Bhagavan says in this first verse. There is one isness, suchness, irreplaceably, immutably, that suchness, that isness pervades the whole of the cosmos. That is the only intelligence here. The clouds do not have separate existence from the Akasha or the space. It exists in it. It melts, disappears, just like a smoke, into the wide, vast space. In the same way, everything, see, the moment I utter a word, world, am I not included in it? My physical being, the very subtle mind, which comes into play during the waking state, it is expressing as my waking state. So the moment I say world, I am included in it. In the same way, the moment Bhagavan here says, from our perception of the world, there follows acceptance of a unique first principle possessing various powers. One power, the one current we generate and comes into our house, and it gets into various electrical gadgets called refrigerator, air conditioner, fan, mixie, grinder, television, whatnot, even in computer, even to open up a computer program. Even in a battery cell, the same current, the battery is generated and it lights the light bulb. The same way, the one energy, the one power only displays itself, it is displaying itself, it is expressing itself. We cannot ask why it expresses, why should it express at all? We cannot ask this question. This is how it works. Intelligence or the power, the one source, the one power that pervades the complete cosmos in and through the manifest also. Even the space is produced out of it. The moment I say if I denote a form to look at, please look at that scene or look at that site, we are able to look at it. But inherently the space is pervading, enveloping that scene, site. That is not actually being looked at. It is taken for granted. In the same way, when I say the world, I am included in it, but the normal mind, what it thinks, as if through his eyes, he is seeing a world extraneous to him, as if it is away from him, apart from him, he is something superior to it. These are all the misunderstandings or misconceptions or assumptions, false assumptions created by the individual separative existence in us as the thoughts. The thoughts separate this location as this particular individual from the totality, as if a cover, it hides, it dilutes the individual. A thought dilutes the individual. We get separated. Thinking separates. Thinking dilutes. Thinking continuously establishes a separate existence apart from the cosmos. Throughout the cosmos, that is what Bhagavan says here. Complete throughout the galaxies, throughout the universes. Does a separate intelligence, a wholesome, holistic, in a particular location, does a separate individual intelligence exist here? No. See for yourself. This is what Bhagavan actually guides us. He sets the platform for the highest in this creation. The higher, it is not in creation, it is creation itself. Everything gets manifested in it. It thrives in it, it lives in it, and unto it it disappears, right from an atom to a falling, disappearing star, including we ourselves as humanity. But in this whole of this cosmos, a being, an entity endowed with intellectual power, a separate intellect, can only understand these things. That too, if he has come this far to understand about the highest, the most sublime, the one power that is out of his past good registrations only. Because we have been here throughout. Because the moment I say we have been here, that one intelligence is always, it is easiness embodiment itself. It is not alone easiness, it is intelligence on its own. It is light by itself. It is full by itself. Categorically, Bhagavan establishes, see the very first verse of the 40 verses we have taken now. In the very first verse itself, he confirms the existence, the intelligence, the omnipotent intelligence. In the very first song, he introduces the whole remaining 40 verses of what is not and what is actually, what is factually, and what is that intelligence. What actually exists here. I have a name for me. I have a particular characteristic form for me. But am I this? And through this physical organism, my mind, goes into the external world through my five senses and through thinking also, through intellect also, and tries to understand the cosmos here, that which is expressed here for me to experience in this world as cosmos, and the onlooker or the experience, that is me, as a separate name and form. See, you are seeing a tree behind me. At its root I have kept this board. Tree is a word labeling that form. Tree as such, the word doesn't carry anything at all. It is only a sound. People who do not know English, they cannot comprehend this tree, the word, at all. It is only a noise for them. If I do not know Spanish, whatever a person who speaks in Spanish, that is only a noise for me. In the same way, in individual minds, as understandings, as beliefs, as concepts, we have loaded ourselves with a lot of confusions. We have taken the worldly names and forms, the labels which carry those forms, the forms those carry. Those are all taken as realities. How I have construed the world, how I have understood the world, the same way, in a deluded way, even about me I have understood. The existence of a separate individual, because through thinking process only one relates himself as well as with the world around him. So everything for a human being, the connectivity for a human being in this cosmos is nothing but through thinking. Thinking is made up of words and forms. The very first form for him to perceive his own physical form, that he has taken for himself. The moment I take, not probing beyond that taken appearance as reality, eventually what happens to me? Everything becomes a concrete physical forms only. And those forms exist outside as well as in my mind, in my thoughts. So the very connectivity for a human being here is nothing but to move inside in him in thoughts, in thinking, in visualizing, in chattering. And this whole assembly, this assemblage of complete this software called mind, with intellect, the moving thoughts of visuals and audio, and the feelings, memories, reactions to the world, with all these things, this total assemblage, what happens to it when we go to deep sleep? Everything, the whole mind disappears without even recognizing whether the sleeping entity is a male or a female, is an old person or a young kid, whether he is a healthy person or he is a diseased one, whether he is a man or woman, whatever it may be. All the differences, because differences comes the moment that one power, that only one intelligence, when it enters the body, the memories are raked up, the identities within me, within my mind, as such and such, as so and so, and the relatedness with which I had left before sleep, wherever I had left it before sleep, that continues through the recognition within the mind, and I am continuing my interaction with this external world. That is what is called as waking state. The mere appearance and disappearing into deep sleep is our worldly life, and all the understandings and everything is only confined with this realm, called as waking state. Here, through this very first verse, Bhagavan establishes the understanding that firstly, no, you are not the power center. No entity, no manifested right from a star to an atom. Human being is included in this. It doesn't, they do not have separate self-existence. Everything is the display of that power. Everything is nothing but a display of that power. This is the clear theme of this very first song. What he says, a unique first principle possessing innumerable various powers. It is not only powers, the very manifestation is those powers only manifest. How does birth take place? In my deep sleep, how the blood circulates? Which power is actually making the blood to circulate within my body? The mere life supporting systems, the involuntary actions of my physical organism continue to thrive there as a being without a psychological center. In this, throughout the cosmos, including the stars and galaxies and universe, there is no, they don't have separate self-existence. A human being with the sixth sense called intellect matured in him, he alone separates from this whole of this cosmos and thinks about himself as a special character. He is above all this creation, the created, which is in front of him. This is the basic misunderstanding with which from deep sleep that one consciousness, that one power enters the body as individual, enters the body as a mind in various body, in various human beings throughout this cosmos. You get this? This is a fundamental line between the one Chit, the one existence, one Sat, the one power, and the same power is here as manifested, and the same power is reflected on this manifestation as separate entities as stars, as different human beings, as different animal beings, as plants and whatnot, hills, oceans and everything here. The one intelligence only is all these also, but they are not these separative forms and names. They are all in that one screen, one projected screen. That projected screen includes the person who talks about it, who looks on the screen. He is also included in it. He doesn't stand apart from the screen, away from the screen, and as if he is seeing it. He is included in it. The very world includes all human beings, all everything, all forms, animate, inanimate, all the forms. So nothing exists apart from that one power, and that alone is full intelligence, pure intelligence. This is what is given in one Veda mantra. It says like this: Purnamadah, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva avashishyate. The same thing in a very broad-based, in a form which is easily understandable, that is given by Bhagavan. What that verse says, Purnamadah, the other is also full. Purna means full. Full means full in intelligence, full in omnipotence, full in omnipresence, full in omniscience. In all aspects it's full. There is nothing which is standing away from it, apart from it. There is no other at all. This is what is this verse also explains. Purnamadah, that is also full, Sat, Chit, Ananda, omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence. Purnamidam, that which is manifested, including the space. The moment I say space, galaxies are included, stars are included. You cannot see anything apart from it. That is what pictorially I have depicted here. Just as a symbol for an understanding, I drew one circle. You take it as the one infinity. Without, in the moment I say infinite, what is the meaning of it? Unimaginably big, unimaginably powerful, unimaginably limitless. That is what is this infinity. In that everything is there. For example, I drew some other picture. Some plants, one elephant in the animal kingdom, one human being, some water sources, hills, some birds, one moon, sun, some stars. To impart a meaning, to give an understanding to you. You have to, it is not, we cannot contain it in our mind. It is such limitless abundance of omnipotence and omniscience and omnipresence that is pictorially even in the manifested also. That alone is. That is what Bhagavan says. But that alone is intelligence. Get this. It contains both manifested and unmanifest also. That which has not come into being. See, in past life regressions, some people before this birth who were without body also traveling, loitering in this cosmos without a form, with individual potencies, unextinguished, unsatiated registrations, without a form, they had lived in different realms. What we see as the manifested cosmos is a minuscule part of the totality. This is what that sloka in Sanskrit says, Purnamadah, that is full. Purnamidam, that which has come into form and name, that is also full. Full means it expresses fullness. Everything is perfect and full. Purnamidam, Purnat, from the fullness, from the perfection, from the totality. Purnat, Purnam Udachyate. Udachyate. What he says? Purnamadak, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnam Udachyate. Purnam, out of fullness, out of completeness, out of totality, out of everything, infinity. When this Purnam is also taken, this also comes out of it. Whatever that we see, an atom is full in itself. It reveals the totality, the infinity profoundly. That is what the second line of the sloka says. Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya, from the fullness, Purnamadaya, having taken fullness, what is residual, what is left over is also Purna. That is also complete, full in itself. Purnasya Purnamadaya, after having taken fullness from fullness, what is left over is also fullness. Purnameva avashishyate. The balance is also fullness. What does it mean? We see the oceans in this globe. It never crosses. Accidentally, through tsunamis, they cross because of some other disturbances. Otherwise, they don't cross. All the world's rivers, perennial rivers, they go on getting one fall into that ocean. What happens? Still, does it exceed? Does it come into the shores? Does it penetrate the shores? No. It takes all the waters of the world, all the oceans. All the waters of this complete globe is contained in the ocean. In the same way, this fullness is never drained. What is balance is also fullness. What is taken, what has come out of it is also fullness. Fullness reflects in every atom. Just like the midday sun reflects in all the water sources, be it a bubble or a vast river. It reflects in all the places. No, the same way, the one, out of its own reflection, the only one being that is really pseudo-centrically, it exists separately, is nothing but the human ego. Except in a human being, in this cosmos, everything is one with that power. For me only, I call this as tree. It doesn't aware, it is being named as tree. The tree doesn't aware that it is named as tree. The sun, it does not know that it is sun, it is named as sun. So, the individual mind, the individual ego, which in a human being, for functional purposes, it has found out a language for communication, and it is caught in the very communication. And it identified with those words and those forms, and going on anchoring over it as this is me and these are all mine. This is how the differences start emerging through human being. Taking a form, taking a birth as a human being is to learn and realize correctly what is what, to understand correctly what is our real nature. Are we this human form and this name and with all those identifications, or are these identifications, the name and form, do they have any intelligence of its own? This is what is the question here he sets. Everything is in one power, that one power alone